Hello world, this is Brother Cody from the Brothers Blue, and today I am going to be doing a solo video, which I don't do very often. I'm also going to try to do some screen sharing, and I'm going to do my best, so bear with me. I am reacting to a video that was recently posted from Heavyweights Light Feels. It directly addresses me and a couple of different things that we'll talk about. So I'm going to get started by sharing my screen, and we'll get started on that video first. Let's go with this one, and hopefully you guys are seeing this. The first video, it says, "Dear Cody Shryock, here's a truce offer." So first of all, I don't have a lot of time to react to this stuff. So Andrew put this out a couple of days ago, I think. But I've watched it, and I was going into it with a positive feeling. And because in the title, it seems like he's going to come off in a nice way. But in the video, it's kind of insulting. But we'll get to that. So let's get started.
What's good? What's good? Not the content of the Brothers Blue YouTube channel, but I might be a little biased because it's 75% critical commentary of my content.
All right. So two things real quick is he continuously is critical of our content, and it's really kind of weird because he talks about not wanting to engage and this, that, and the other. But then he's obviously looking at what we're making because he is being critical of it. On top of that, he said that 75% of our content is reactionary towards him. In reality, I did the math, it's only 28%. I'm that kind of person that I will get into the semantics, especially around percentages and stuff like that. So if you're gonna say something, be actually accurate, and that just is not accurate. So we have a total of 42 videos, 12 out of 42 is 28%. And 12 of those videos are reactionary towards the content of Heavyweights. Also, just a quick thing on the content is YouTube is kind of the other thing that me and my brother do, because we also are on TikTok. He is Kerfuffle and that I am the PGH Chef. But that's really where we take a little more pride in what we're creating and stuff like that. So our YouTube stuff, we just kind of do because we want to. I'm also in a TikTok with 1 million views in it. So
I would encourage you all to go check out their YouTube channel. But that's not the reason I'm making this video. There's a bigger reason. And it's to just get them to leave me alone. Cody, the reason I don't care about lobbing ad hominems at you is because I don't respect you. I don't like that I don't respect you. And so ultimately, I know I should just ignore you.
Okay, so as far as him not respecting me, I would argue that it's kind of a weird or ambiguous thing to say what is a person worthy of respect. With that being said, I do think that I am a person worthy of respect. I am honest in my transactions with other humans, but on top of that, I work really hard at my new job. I'm a good dad, and I'm a good brother, a good son, all these other things. So the things that you might consider respect worthy in an individual, I think I have a lot of those traits. As for Andrew's personal character around those kinds of things, I don't care to judge too much because I don't personally know him. And because of that, I'm not going to say whether or not he is a person worthy of respect. The reasons he gives for not respecting me aren't sufficient in my book for me to not respect him. So,
which is what moving forward I'm going to try to do, because it's not compassionate to attack you the way I do, and I acknowledge that. I think the most compassionate way for me to address this situation is to first inform you of why I don't fucking care about what you have to say and why I don't want to talk to you.
so if he doesn't care, then again, I just don't understand why he keeps engaging. And like he said before, my brother and I don't even put out a lot of content. So, like, why are you listening to it? Just stop. If you don't care, then be like actionable on what you're saying. Just stop listening and stop engaging. But you'll continue, and so will we.
And then tell you that moving forward, I'm just going to ignore you. And were you to say that same thing to me, I'd be like, cool. I don't care. I don't care about obtaining the respect of someone whom I don't respect. You had opportunities. You had ample opportunities. Your brother had ample opportunities. You were not.
Okay, so he has given Kyle a couple of opportunities in that they've had some recorded conversations, some very lengthy conversations actually. They're on his channel and our channel, so you can go check those out if you want to. But as far as giving me opportunities for engagement, there have been none. And he calls me like a bad faith actor later and stuff like that. And it's like, I can't be a good faith actor or a bad faith actor because there's no communication that you're allowing to happen. So, like, I can't act in bad faith, really. So again, you talk about giving me opportunities, and there just haven't been any. So,
You're not respectable gentlemen in my book. That does not mean you deserve disrespect. And so, yes, I should stop lobbing the ad hominems at you. And ultimately, I might just end up blocking you guys. I don't know. There was like a year period where you just left me alone. And it was nice. I just made my little videos. I did my little thing. Whatever. The reason I choose not to engage with you is because you have proven to be bad faith actors, to be rude, to be condescending.
So there it is where he says the bad faith actors rude and condescending. So again, I haven't been able to have the opportunities to be rude or condescending or act in bad faith. Kyle has, and I think he's even said in one of his videos where he was like, at the risk of sounding condescending, I'm going to say this. And so that's the thing is self-awareness is a big thing. I think Kyle actually has that around the way he engages. And that's why he's encouraged the engagement between you and me, because he sees what I see. And maybe you don't see it, but I truly believe that you and I could have a better and even more enjoyable content if it was created and posted on both of our channels. So we should do that.
And y'all don't have any subscribers. And I realize me at 260 something, that's nothing. But y'all got 20. And so there.
So I just have a quick note on this one, and that's the fact that he mentions subscribers, which is something he does. And it's like he also says that, he doesn't want to be a YouTuber, but then he downgrades us for not having subscribers. So in my opinion, Andrew, through his YouTube channel, is trying to be the ultimate clout chaser, but that's just, how I feel.
There is literally no benefit to me engaging with you in a direct capacity, one-on-one or Zoom or whatever. there's no benefit because I'm not going to learn anything. It's not going to be pleasurable for me. You're not going to learn anything because I know you're not going to be open-minded to anything I have to say.
So that is where again he is just, that's not me. If he were to have a conversation with me, I would be open-minded. Most of the people that I talk to, both sides of the political spectrum, have said that they actually enjoy talking to me, either side, because I'm willing to listen to what they have to say and talk about what they have to say. So you also said that you won't learn anything and I won't learn anything. And the only argument that I don't even have an argument with that. You're right, because you don't provide any information ever. Like resources and sources of information are literally the entire video that Brother Kyle and I did on geoengineering. We went over 5 different resources. And there were videos, there were articles, some were scholarly, some were opinion pieces from newspapers. But we went over all these different things. And that is our hope, is that someone can learn something because we're providing them with the information that they need to learn. On the other hand, Andrew, I'm sorry, but I just haven't seen a lot of your videos where you are providing information other than your own other than your own diatribes. I mean, basically, it's just you talking into a microphone about things you believe, but you never provide any proof or resources. So please do, and I would love to look at them. I absolutely would.
And I'm not going to grow my sphere of influence or my followers or subscribers. And while I don't want to be a YouTuber, it would be nice to have a larger audience. And
Andrew consistently says that he doesn't want to be a YouTuber, and he does. He has proven that by the way he talks about it, the way he talks about content creation, subscribers, and the fact that he's made over 200 videos. So, hey, and actually, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Andrew should be a YouTuber. I hope this person can somehow monetize content creation, because Andrew, I know that you have put time and effort into this, and it's something that someone like you should be able to make money off of.
And to actually have conversations with people I disagree with.
Except that money's not going to come from me.
But people who will do so in good faith. I do believe I had a good conversation with Joe on my channel. I wonder, maybe I'll add that to the Conversations with Brothers Blue playlist, or maybe I'll just do a Conversations playlist, because I disagree with Joe, but I feel like him and I had a pretty good conversation. And so maybe if you guys change your mind and want to pay me some money so there is value in exchange with you, I'd be interested. But if you're just going to continue to be a butthead, I'm working my way towards, I'm moving from calling you a douchebag to now you're a butthead.
All right, so again, where I can agree with Andrew and say that he's had progress. Not only did he go from douchebag to butthead, which I'll take butthead. You can call me butthead, I don't really care. Douchebag's kind of offensive. But prior to that, he called me a keyboard leftist faggot or something like that. And so, yeah, there's definite progression from the extremely harsh ad hominem to the less harsh ad hominem to butthead. And again, I'll take butthead. Sure, why not?
Soon, I'm just not going to acknowledge you at all. And that's fine. I would be 100% fine if you just didn't acknowledge me. That would be awesome, because that's the world I dream of living in.
And I'm sorry to shatter your dreams, but Brother Kyle and I will never stop. As long as you want to put out your content that a lot of times has maybe disinformation or things like that, we will address those things accordingly and provide the research that's been done by scientists, and refute from there.
a world where, oh, look, there are people with whom I vehemently disagree. That's okay. I'm going to go live my life. They're going to go live their life. We don't have to interact. And I love that. I love that. So if you want to pay up, I'll chat. Yeah, there's value. There is a value in it for me in that instance. But other than that, just like go live your life, bro. Feel free to make all the content you want. I'm just going to ignore it.
He won't ignore it. And we won't ignore his.
One last note. And this goes to you both, Kyle and Cody, and your respective families. I do sincerely wish you the best. Health and wealth, prosperity. Those are things that I want for myself and my family. And I think it's only fair that I want those for everyone else on the planet. And so while we may disagree, and while I may ultimately not be a big fan of yours, I still want the best for you. I really do. And I want the best for everyone on the planet. And I hope that reality works out.
Okay, so this again is a sentiment that I just agree with Andrew on, and it actually segues perfectly into the other piece of content that he made that I want to react to. I'm probably not going to share the videos for the other two. I'll share them in the description, but I'm not going to screen share. I'm just going to kind of talk about them. They're a little bit shorter, and they're not directly addressing me either, so I have less to say about them. But he says, you know, he wants the best for us. And that's something I also want for everyone. I want the best for you, Andrew. Like I said, I think you should monetize your content creation, things like that. I want good things for you. With that being said, I'm concerned, having watched two of your recent videos. I'm wasting my life and don't know what to do. And then I miss fraternity. Where are the virtuous men? So we'll get into that in a second, actually, but I'm going to stop this and try to figure out how to share the other videos, because that's what I want to do. Is I want to show you guys the first one is right here, and I found it, so give me just 1 second. I share this again, and this is the next video that I want to talk about, and it's Andrew's video talking about fraternal relationships. And so I've got some notes here, and I'm just going to go over the notes. This is the video. It's I Miss Fraternity. Where are the virtuous men? Heavyweights, light feels. That's where you can go if you want to watch it. So what I think he has overall in the video, which is kind of weird, not a fan of, is a Jordan Peterson vibe. Because Jordan Peterson is what I would call like a male apologist. And I'm not going to explain that term. And so then he gets into this idea that the term friends is kind of weird. And actually, this is something, again, I really would like to talk to him about, because I think the term friends is very ambiguous. And because I think it is very individualistic, I think friendship means different things to different people. And there are different types of friendships as well. And so I'll kind of get into that as well. But the overall feeling and point is that the idea or the word friend or friends is pretty ambiguous and can skew a lot per individual. He talks about wanting to have reconnecting conversations with people that he has fallen out of touch with, but he doesn't want it to be superficial, and that's what he's afraid it might be. And again, I feel sorry for you, man, because like I go back home and I see like Billy Dean and BJ Strait and Ryan Analock, and like I see all my friends from middle school and high school, and like there is absolutely nothing superficial about the relationships I have with those guys. Do I see them all the time? No. Do I see them enough? Probably not. But we still stay in touch. Ben Sloat is another one. He lives in Ohio now, and I recently talked to Ben. So like, I feel bad for you because these relationships that you may have had in the past, you feel like might be superficial now. So that sucks. Um, but also, if your friends are watching your content and they hear you refer to them as cucks, they might not be totally flattered or want to reach out. Um, you call your old friends cucks. You don't call me a pile cucks. Um, and so you also say that you disagree that since we disagree with you, that we're technically higher on the virtue spectrum. And so that's where you like, I'm not sure if you meant to compliment us, but that's what I'm taking it as. And so essentially you said at least these people will stand up for what they believe in. At least I think that's what you're saying, because you were saying that the brothers blue are higher on the virtue spectrum than your old friends or something. So anyways, as far as that video's overall sentiment goes, I agree with you. Male friends is something that is kind of a weird thing, but at the same time, I miss my male friends and I wish I had more of them locally. But then again, I have fraternal relationships with like my chef and my sous chef and the guys that I work with and stuff like that. But that's a different kind of friendship, because you work together. So that's what I'm saying is like friends are different for different people and there are different types of friendship. With that being said, I agree with Andrew. I kind of miss having my guy friends have a more prominent role in my life. The next video is I am wasting my life and I don't know what to do. I'll show you guys that one real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So that's this one. And again, if you want to watch Andrew's videos, please go to his channel at Heavyweights Life Heals, and you can watch I Am Wasting My Life and I Don't Know What to Do. This is the last video that I wanted to address because I think, again, I have a very strong sentiment of agreement with you on this, Andrew. So it's you start out talking about being tired from work and like you sound kind of defeated when you're talking about being tired from work because I've started a new job and like, dude, I am physically tired after a full day of work because it's not easy work. It's very physically demanding, but it feels good. Like it's like that day after, or it's like the evening after snowboarding. Like if you snowboard all day, you're gonna be sore that night from head to toe. And that's the feeling that I've had lately is a feeling of accomplishment with my body being sore. But you also talk about not just being physically exhausted, but like mentally and emotionally and stuff like that. You mentioned feeling worthless and useless, and this is again where I'm just like, dude, this is a concern, and you should be talking to someone if it's not I'm not saying a therapist. I'm just saying you should be talking to someone or looking for things in your life that will give you worth and make you feel a sense of use or purpose. Because that's not a good feeling. To feel worthless or useless is not good, and you're not that. So don't think you are. You also mentioned college degrees. I've actually just gone through my fourth career change technically, and only one of them required that college degree that I have. I was a restaurant manager at the Cakes Steakhouse, and we did $1.2 million in sales one year. So it was not a small restaurant. And I worked there for 5 years. And so that would be what I call my first career. After that, I worked for Wells Fargo for 5 years as well, and I was a licensed banker with my Series 3, 65, and 6. And so I had the various securities license, and I was a licensed banker, and that job did not require the degree, neither did the restaurant management position. After banking, I went into teaching. Teaching did require a degree, and teaching does require a degree in every state in America. I will say that I was happy to have the degree so I could become a teacher relatively easily. And I was a teacher for about 3 years. And so that was the one career that required the degree. I have recently left teaching and I'm pursuing a career change into becoming a chef. And this also does not require a degree. So degrees are useful for some things, they're not useful for other things. Put it to use where you can, if you can, because you have it and you have the debt, like you said. You talk about a retail job and DoorDash. And so DoorDash is technically like temp work. And I'm actually going to look into a company called Upshift, and they offer temp work as well, but in the service industry. And so my first thing on DoorDash is you're putting wear on your car, so that sucks. And then second of all, it doesn't seem like it's making you happy, so why do it? And that's why I quit teaching. I was like, this is not making me happy, so why am I doing it? I make less, a little bit less right now. I will make more in the future. But I took a pay cut because I was not happy as a teacher. And that has to do with parents, not students, but that's another conversation to be had. You say, word for word, I hate this whole economic system we're in. And I hate to break this to you because you seem to think that it's not the truth, but this is end stage capitalism. And we are in a global capitalist system. And so there are three things that I wrote down that I want to mention specifically because like these are direct examples of capitalism, not fascism. And that is cutting taxes for decades. We've had tax cuts for decades, and that's only made the other two things worse. So hyperinflation, we're dealing with inflation right now, and it's kind of a buzzword, but the one thing I wrote down is something that you probably agree with is tuition. Why is tuition one of the things that's inflated like 1,200% over the last 30 years? Tuition hasn't just inflated, it's hyperinflated. And then deunionization is another thing that has happened over the last several decades. That is a clear example of capitalism, not fascism. Deunionization has been happening since the 70s, I believe, and that again is made worse because of the tax cuts and stuff like that. So then you kind of finish up, or no, you don't finish the video, but you say you want to be doing something more with your life. And again, I'll just say, do this, look for fulfillment. I have found it in my new job, which has been awesome. But I also love being a dad, and like doing those types of things are like what really give me fulfillment. Cooking, stuff like that. So find stuff that makes you happy, because it sounds like you need to, everyone needs to. And so just look for the things that are going to make you happy and do those things. And then finally, you ended on a weird note, and not a weird note, but it's a weird note for me to end this on because it's something where I agree with you again. And it's a weird thing to talk about, but the dating market for men right now is a very weird place to be because you're right. Unless you're like really rich, super handsome, very athletic, or extremely intelligent, you're generally under the boat. And like you said, just being average pretty much isn't okay on the dating market right now. And that's unfair to everyone, because everyone is closer to average than they are above average. So I agree with you. Dating market for men right now is really weird. Hopefully we can have a conversation sometime soon, maybe about that, about other things, but I had to react. And Andrew, I definitely wish you the best. And as always, people, knowledge is power.